Welcome back to the Maven Show. This is your host Rohit. Today we have Diamond, the business resource specialist and motivational speaker. Thank you, Diamond, for getting into the show.
Thanks, Rohit. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. So, would you just like to give a quick intro about yourself, like how you got started with your all the speaking and your business thing?
Yeah, so I've been in business for about 4 years now. And one of the greatest privileges that I have is helping seasoned solopreneurs take their business to the next level. And one of the main reasons or main ways that I do that, rather, is through speaking, because it's one of the most effective strategies to build a connection and magnetize the people who are waiting for the gifts that you have to offer through your business. So when you get on stage and you deliver valuable content that actually helps people get unstuck from where they currently are and get a little bit closer to the transformation that they're trying to get to, it builds a loyal fan base where people want to hear more from you. And eventually you have the opportunity to extend an offer into your program, your product, whatever it is.
Got it. So you used to talk about mental health, So how you would like to give your view on mental health, why it's important, and I mean, like everyone should having the positive side in this, because it matters a lot. So what do you have for this?
Yeah, 1,000% mental health is very important, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, because when you are in that space, you are wearing all of the hats of one business. So you're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the bookkeeper, social media strategist, like all of the hats. And so that can be really overwhelming if you're just wearing one of those hats, let alone all of them. So being able to take care of yourself so that you show up in your highest alignment honestly motivates you and drives you, gets you out of bed. The better you'll be for it, because entrepreneurship is one of those things where it's easy to quit because no one is there holding you accountable. Like you don't have a boss who's like making you do the things. You have to actually be disciplined. You have to be committed. You have to do the things in order to see your business grow. And if you're depressed or if you're having some sort of misalignment with your mental health, then you can't do that in the most effective way.
Because being a solopreneur is not easy. and even running businesses is not even easy as well. If you are getting started from scratch or having no support maybe, or or it's just your first business or it's just your first baby to start with. So it's not that easy as someone thinks,
From uncertainty of not knowing what step to take to not knowing which methods are the proven ones for your particular target audience. Like there's so many different facets.
And even in the beginning, like many of the entrepreneurs or maybe solopreneurs used to be going to big mistake, because they're gonna test each and every single thing, what's working and what's not working, and then sticking to that one, what's worked. Awesome. So tell me something like how to avoid like burning out in a business. Like it's real, like everyone used to burn out in business. How to avoid that?
Yeah, one of the main ways that I talk about in terms of avoiding burnout is called the Freedom Calendar. It's a strategic tool that I work with my clients to create, where they are able to identify very critical things to avoid burnout. So when do you want to turn off your laptop each day? How many days do you want to work in your business versus on your business? And what do you like to do to decompress? What would you do on your days off? And so we look at the calendar in a very bird's eye high view level, and we identify the things that our business needs. We identify what we want, and we plan for days off so that you don't burn out. One of the things that I know is that when you schedule days off into your calendar on a consistent basis, it allows that creative brain space for you to have those innovative ideas, for you to have those aha moments that we get when we're in the shower or at the gym or wherever it is.
And I think most creative ideas used to come at their places only. I mean, I still know, like when I used to take the shower for maybe like 2 years, like 2 hours long, and I used to think like, that's gonna work. Yeah, we can name that thing like that way. We can name that thing that way. Like, I mean, those things comes like usually in that time, maybe walking out, maybe you're driving, maybe you're having a shower, or maybe
and you can't have those if you're glued to the computer. fixing landing pages and social media strategy.
Yeah. So tell me, like, relationship building, like everyone wants to know, like, I believe like many of the listeners of the show maybe wants to know like how to build a strong relationship. And in business, I think it matters the most.
Yeah, relationship building in business is very important because it takes a while for people to know, like, and trust you enough to do business with you. So typically what that looks like is 5 to 7 touch points. Maybe they come to your masterclass and then, they get an email from you, they get a text message, they go check out a video, something of yours. Maybe you have another masterclass and they come. That's 5 right there. So you need a minimum of 5 to 7 touch points in order for people to know, like, and trust you enough. So if you make those touch points full of value, full of knowledge, full of information that can actually help them overcome whatever their pain point is, then you're going to build that loyal following because they're going to want more. And then they're going to know how they can personalize, because right when you're talking in masterclass fashion, you're talking in generalizations because there could be 5 people there could be 10 people, 100 people, whatever it is. It's when you get the opportunity to meet with someone face to face and actually individual or personalize what they're saying to their needs, that you're able to really foster that connection.
And like starting out a business, being in a business, everyone may be looking for the mentorship. While picking up a mentor, what someone can look into, they should be, I mean, like, according to me, like, they should be looking for someone whom they want to be in next few years. Like, the person is like the same way or not, and so on. So what do you have to say for this?
Yeah. I find that my values align the most with my mentor because she is where I want to be. She's already created a multi-million-dollar business where she used speaking to actually get visible and attract clients who want to work with her. And so if your branding is on point, then people will be able to kind of ascertain like your purpose, your mission from just the things that you're putting out there into the world. So the main thing that you want to do is you want to, one, make sure that the mentor who you're vetting, their values actually align with yours. So if they're super salesy and in your face and sending all of the things, but that's not you, then you probably won't be a good fit for that person because you're going to have a lot of resistance to whatever it is that they're telling you to do to grow your business. And you also, so you want to make sure that the values align, and then you want to make sure that you have that personalized time with them to see if it's a good fit, because that's really what those 30-minute discovery calls, strategy sessions are all about. Like, the coach there or the mentor has a service, has some support that you're just trying to ascertain whether it's a good fit for you or not. So that is very important.
Any best advice do you have for anyone, like how to avoid burning out in business, or maybe anyone who is getting started with the business, how they should never give up, or because it's not easy, that. So what do you have to them? Any advice for them?
Yeah. So 2 things. I would say, 1, this is a quote that I use on a constant basis. It's kind of my mantra whenever I feel resistance coming up around things, whether that's mindset, whether that's implementation, accountability. And that is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Fear comes when your cortisol levels get to that peak and you're in that state of like fight or flight, like, do I go, do I stay? But typically what's on the other side of that is growth. And so when you have a fear around maybe hosting your first event because you think no one's going to show up, you don't know that. That's just the fear talking. So if you let the fear stop you from doing the thing, then people won't show up because they won't know about it. But if you feel the fear and you do it anyway, oftentimes, especially if you set yourself up for success with guidance, you're going to succeed. And so that leads me into my next helper situation. On my website, diamonddripconsulting.com, there's actually one of those passion meet strategy breakthrough sessions where people will be able to bring their biggest gap in business, whether that's mindset or whether that's implementation around something, and actually leave having closed that gap or knowing the steps needed to close that gap.
Cool. Thank you, Diamond, for getting into the show and having your wonderful insights about not to burn out in a business and start building the relationship. So yeah, thank you so much for having on.
Much love. I'm so appreciative that you found me out of the podcast people and we connected. It's been great.
Awesome. Anyone can find all the stuff in the description. So yeah, for sure.